First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started.
And we are underway from Atlanta.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. They'll go play action here with Penix. And incomplete to open things up.
We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in the zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Penix. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Pulled in at the 24. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a 1st down. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Up the middle they go. Felton, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
To the air goes Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves them with a 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels.
Keeping it himself from a yard out.
And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
That's a great alternative there to the old-fashioned quarterback sneak. Instead, let your quarterback take it in the shotgun and essentially choose his own path. He scans the situation, makes the right read, and takes it into the end zone on the QB draw.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Penix.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Here's Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
But we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there, but most of the time it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down and 6 now. Daniels looking to throw. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Daniels.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now Daniels. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Here's Daniels.
That's Samuel, caught left side. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Daniels. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel from 4 yards out.
And the Commanders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And looking to throw, Penix. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They'll throw with Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
As they've got it as we resume action.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 44-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 2. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix.
Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Option play. Here's Robinson.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Operating from the gun, Penix.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. In motion goes the tight end.
To the air, Penix.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
They'll try and throw. Here's Penix. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
I think the defense surprised them there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Off the play fake, Daniels. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Defensively, celebration time, because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
On 3rd down, Felton. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Play action, now it's Daniels.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Daniels.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 37. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On the counter, this is Robinson.
Shreds the tackle, and he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 5.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on third downs, and now they face a third and inches.
And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
Daniel's going to throw for it.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. They start on the ground with Robinson here.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And this will be a Falcons first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Penix working out of the gun here.
And this is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Now a 2nd and 10. And looking to throw, Penix.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. That is caught. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Robinson up the middle.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the shotgun, it's Penix.
Incomplete.
Kyle Pitts, the intended receiver.
But now it's 3rd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Now Penix.
Robinson's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Here's Penix.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. A tough time to take the sack. Now it's 4th and goal, and that's a loss of 6. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons.
From the right hash, this from 33.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
To the air goes Daniels.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line.
And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as he's up to the 43.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Daniels looking to throw.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
17 yards that time at a Washington 1st.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Robinson on a give right side.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Eckler looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Troy Anderson applying the pressure and picking up the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Now Daniels. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Deebo Samuel.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now.
They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And this will be a Falcons 1st down as good running gets them to about the 44.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Robinson with another carry.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Looking to throw, Penix.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here's a screen for Robinson.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
And the Washington offense heading out. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
They go play action. Daniels. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
They'll throw with Penix.
He's got the hook up to McLeod. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 4.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Just what they needed, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Operating from the gun, Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Kyle Pitts
from 19 yards away.
And the Falcons take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Now the try here for the point after. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 8, 21-13.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
66 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Here's Daniels.
Open man is Samuel, complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll send the slot in motion left.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it will be Falcon football.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 31 yards there and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Atlanta, Georgia's the spot, and glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10. On the give, here's Robinson. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To the air, Penix.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth.
Hand off now to Robinson.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Again, it's Robinson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington 16. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down. They're going to look to throw.
And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Ray McLeod from 6 yards away. And the Falcons have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here is 3rd down and 4. To throw is Daniels. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return, here's Agnew. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. They'll set up a throw. Got a man, it's London. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. A play fake. Now Penix. That is caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, the team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Now Penix.
Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Falcons have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the fourth quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the fourth quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense back out there. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Looking to throw. Daniels.
Quick slant to Brown.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And he's brought down. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play action, now it's Daniels. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
They'll run this one right with Robinson.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To the air goes Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'd been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Daniels looking to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Throwing now is Daniels. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Noah Brown, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Atlanta regains possession of the football. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. And looking to throw, Penix. Looking for London on the out route, complete.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Here's Penix. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
He'll look to throw. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So the road a little tougher here. Now 1st and 20.
He's back to throw. Flushed out right. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And he's got some space here.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs and advance the ball.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now Washington down by 4, 34 seconds to go. And they've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Back to throw. Pass. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Here's Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Daniels going to throw for it. And that's complete to Brown.
Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Well, this offense still has the 1 timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Now Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
This is 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Here's 1st down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
Well, they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. This for all the marbles. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it, and this one's over.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting into midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.